highly important area, this smart objectives. Most of us, when we set marketing plans, we tend to score less in setting objectives because the evaluators find problems with the way we set the objectives. This is a key issue in research as well. So this video hopes to reduce some of those challenges, and help ourselves in creating better objectives. Okay, the key is identifying SMART. SMART is a very simple tool, but we basically take this one for pretty much for granted. We don't think too much about it. We don't think enough about it. Sorry, not too much. So our failure to think enough about it results in us having very poor objectives. Now, what's the meaning of specific? Now, SMART is, let me go back again. So, SMART is literally specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. I'll be coming up with some examples also later to make it easier for us. So, what's the meaning of specific? Specific is about, am I very clear about the objective? Have I thought about the simple things like what, who, why, where? And yes, any objective must begin with an action word, like to begin, to start, to develop, to create something, to plan. So objective must begin with a verb, action word. And of course, the objective should be something written in very simple language so that anyone in the team, of course in your case, the evaluator can understand it. The next one, measurable. Now, it should have the particular number, amount, date, type. It must be there. Can't have vague wording in SMART objectives. So it should be of some kind of a measure. We'll be learning some examples here. Don't worry. So the next one, achievable. Can you really do it? When we set objectives, our objectives should match the situation analysis. A company in trouble will not be able to spend a lot, right? A company having challenges with competition in multiple fronts might not be capable of kind of coming up with a large, expensive marketing plan. So what we say in objectives shall be related to the realities in what you call this, the situation analysis. You can't have, a negative situation analysis with poor pestle, poor SWOT, and a problematic Porter's 5 and come up with airy-fairy objectives. You have to think about it, right? Always think when you set those objectives, is it feasible? Is it within the capacities of the company? Does this particular company have resources for it, right? And of course the time frame. Do not set objectives that cannot be achieved practically within 6 months or 1 year, whatever, right? An evaluator or a reviewer would be very particular about your objectives. And actually when checking research, number one target of any evaluator is looking into your objectives. So be very realistic about it. Now take a look at it. There are external aspects like the pestle analysis. You cannot have a negative pestle and have very highly positive looking objectives. Be very careful planning it out. Our objectives depend on the situation analysis, right? So make sure to set the objectives by looking into the challenges that we identify in situation analysis. Now take a look at this example, please. We will increase clicks on our Facebook and Google ads by up to 30% by the start of 2024. We can do this by creating more appealing content and media posted on a weekly basis. So if 30% is too much, maybe we could 15%, 20%. Be realistic. Don't make it 90%. So this is an example of a SMART objective. See, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. What's our time? Start of 2024. Measurable by 30%. Specific, Facebook, clicks, Google ads, right? How do we do it? Yeah, realistically, right? More appealing visual media, right? On a weekly basis. So this is how we set an objective, right? I put up an action word up front, increase. Ideally, if it's in a research, like you could put two to increase the clicks on our Facebook site rather than the we will. In a marketing plan, we can put we will, but in a research report, like, better put two starting with. So this is how we set objectives. Go for something else. So up to now we learnt about specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Time bound is what we are going for. Again, take a look at the example first. Then we plan to bring down customer churn by 50%. What's the meaning of customer churn? How fast the customers are leaving us. That means customers are disengaging from us, from our social media, right, to other sites or the web, by 50%. We're going to reduce that disengagement by 50%. So, I mean, if 100 customers per month is leaving us, we're going to bring it down to 50 by March 2024. How do we do that? Must be there, right? We'll develop the standards of our, the customer service to reach the objective. Double off there, just single off is enough, right? So you're going to increase the standard of the customer service, so that will result in reduction of the customers leaving. And remember, when we set the objectives, be very, very specific, right? Reducing the customer churn, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is our measure, that's our time, right? All that should be there. Again, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound. If the 50% is too much in your opinion, if things are negative in the situation analysis, bring it down. Don't put a bigger number, right? And then let's take a look at some examples. Examples here. Take a look at the first one. We plan to boost engagement on our website by 70%. To me, that looks a little bit too big, like I only made it, right? Maybe I should have put it for 30% like. This will be achieved by publishing 3 blog posts per week. Engagement on our website by 70%. This will be achieved by publishing 3 blog posts by blog posts per week. But I haven't added up what particular date line this. By which date I'll be reaching the 70%. That should be there. So this objective has an error. Number one, 70% is too strong. 2, the deadline is not put. Maybe by the end of this year, by within 6 months starting from now, or by mid-July, something should be there. Yes, other part is okay. I'm going to go for 3 blog posts per week, but the deadline is not set. So this is not a good objective, right? Should have been done better. Next one. Well, let's see whether that's good by me. We will increase our social media footprint in the following. Reach. By follow in what? How do you do? Following, reach, and engagement. 3 things. No, people following, reaching, engagement by up to 70% by December 31st. This is a big target. How do you do that? Achieved by creating and sharing more blog posts and video content. Yeah, that's okay. Timeline is there, 31st, specific. Yeah, increasing the social media content, reach, engagement, how, what, why should be there, guys. Following, reach, and engagement increase. And by 70%, good measure, good time plan, 31st, right? And how are we going to do it? By creating, sharing more blog posts and video content. This is a perfect one. Objective must be this quality. One here was not exactly good, right? Remember that. Let's see whether this one is all right. We will reach a 40% increase in customer retention by the end of 2024. We will develop a multi-tiered loyalty program to achieve the objective. Is it good? Specific? Yes. Measurable? Yes. Achievable? Possible, right? 40%, little bit too high, like maybe I think so, right? Realistic? Yeah. And time bound. All are there. The next one. We plan multiply the conversion rate for our landing page, it should be the conversion rate, I think, not the conversation rate. No, be careful with the language. Conversion rate it should be, right? For our landing page by 15% by start of second quarter 2024. All right, this target will be reached by redesigning and landing page. Redesign the landing page by making it more inviting to the target segment. Landing page means a front page, of the website, front end. So making it nice. 15% maybe look to be more realistic depending on the situation analysis, right? Second quarter of 2024. Second quarter means 6 months from a quarter means 3 months. Second quarter means 6 months later. Yeah, it's okay, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound, all are there. No, I think this should be conversation rate. No, I think it should be conversion rate. Make sure of your language. Okay, this is, I only myself prepared it, right? But here, see, I also have made some errors on it. So sure to set your objectives very, very clearly, like here. Next one. Errors here. We will create 100 new leads by the end of the year by doing targeted campaigns on social media. We will do posts both paid and organic beginning from next month for the above objective. Yes, no? Next months. Beginning from the next months. Here, again an error, no? I intentionally put these things to show you, right? Don't make these kind of mistakes. We will create 100 new leads, so specific, clear. Measurable by the end of the year. It's also there. Okay. Time bound is there. Targeted campaign. How are we going to do it? Yeah, that's also there. What we're going to do, how we're going to do is there, right? We'll do post both paid and organic. That's also good. Very specific. Realistic, right? But there's one problem. Beginning from the next months. Would have been nicer to have it next month, isn't it? Be very, very particular about objective setting. When you set the objectives, always show it to someone else. Right, a friend of yours, even to your teacher, right? So to ensure that there's nothing problematic with regard to objectives, no spelling errors, no nothing, right? Here the commas also close up, right? Should have been a bit far off. Always be perfect with your objective setting. Take a look at this. Yeah, make sure to include all of SPART. We plan to increase engagement with our brand among Generation Z segment by 70%. 70 is a little bit too high for me. Within the next 9 months, 70% means a huge increase, right? Huge engagement increase. The moment we are having a, something like about 1,000 engagement, 70% increase. Maybe it's possible, right? Engagement increase now, I think it's possible. We will do so by using multiple strategies such as customer personas, targeted posts in FB and Instagram. Also by collaborating with the influencer in with one influencer in TikTok. So that's good, no? One influencer, TikTok. So very specific, measurable, achievable, realistic. This is the best one, right? This is really good. I want you to be like this. Prepared some problematic ones so that we can get an understanding about, see, do not make errors like this, like the conversation, right? Be careful with setting of commas here. Here there was a comma issue here. You cannot make these kind of issues. Should be perfect your objective setting. Never ever take it easy on objectives. Here I haven't put a specific timeline here, see? A mistake. Tough evaluator will punish us if we make a mistake like this. Everything is ready, but there's no deadline put. Here everything is fine, right? But December 31st should have been a little bit away. 70% is a bit too high for me, like, engagement, footprint. Yeah, think about it, right? Don't go for the big numbers. 30%, 40%, like more realistic rather than going 70, 80, 90. It's kind of a bit fishy, that kind of high numbers, right? Better avoid it. Have that sort of numbers here, right? But double OF yes, right? So make sure to not to make things like this. There's 2 OF. Whenever you set objectives, make sure that there's nothing taken to go to chance. Make it perfect, right? So this is about SMART objectives: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound, and yes, examples are also there. Hope the lesson helped you to be better the next time you get to set up examples.